and their coaches, Coach Lift and Coach Pakbet. Which of these two teams will end the first half of the season on a high note?
Silent and confident as they enter the stage. Now we see something new. Luis on the EXP lane for the line of Smart Omega.
What? I mean, I'm happy that there's new talent in this young man under his old nickname. And he was catching
For TNC Pro Team is the same passengers for Biyaheng Tagumpay. Not because
The most surest things about them is that they will play around Kelra, that they will protect Kelra really well. That's why that key to victory for TNC Pro Team where they need to get divers makes a lot of sense. If you want to throw a team that wants to protect their gold laner well, you have to draft heroes who can dive, either easily or with great punishment. It's hard to find both. Well, maybe that's why Yu Zhong is so well loved and Benedetta as well. But in terms of how both teams will be able to get the victory here, point number 3, I think, speaks volumes. Ben thinks, MIKKO, they're going to be the ones really holding the front line for their team, setting the tempo. If either of them are disturbed, the team who got to disturb will be the one leading the charge. Yeah, stop the roamer on these two teams. And that's how this is how their identity brews, right? So it's mostly onto the macro game. We've seen it, and this opens up Fredrin for Smart Omega, which really works well. Look at that, 98% on the draft pick. Yep, not impossible that they flex this. I don't doubt that Lewis might be able to play side lane Fredrin, but most likely still going to be in the hands of Ryzen. Now, what is the open for TNC? The Valentina's out there? Whoa. Interesting. Arlott? Is Arlott stock rising that fast? It looks like so. This is the first time Arlott's been picked in the first phase. All the times Arlott has been picked, it was either the 4th or 5th pick of a draft. So now they can show up their mid laner here if they want to pick up the Pharsa or the Valentino, either of those two. But if they're going to be picking up the Valentino will be up against the Pharsa, and then they're going to need some really good dives. So they're thinking about that. They don't want to have that Valentina versus Pharsa Gambit matchup, so they pick up the Claude, which means Omega will be thinking twice about picking something like a Pharsa. The Cho is open for Miko here, though, if they want to pick it. The Brody as well, usually they'll answer to Claude, pick the Cho, pick the Brody, but they might even surprise us and pick up a Melissa early on. I want to see Omega already pick up their marksman with these next 2 picks. If not, TNC are going to take out so many. There's a lot of open heroes here for Smart Omega to take with the new draft, or with the new route rather, of TNC is doing. This is about to shake things up on what direction they're going to be. So it might be the Rome who's the answer for the East against Miko, and also Farsa right on point here. Farsa, Renmar. All right, so this is going to be a challenge here for Stone in terms of how well he's going to position. However, he does have the Fredrin and Cho with him to peel. TNC Pro Team might want to pick the Canada for Escalera. It's open. It's something that he has shown he can play in the Rome role comfortably. Yeah. So now as a mid laner with the assassin mindset that Escalera has, we talked a lot about how Escalera played the Rome. He plays it with killer mentality. Now he's in the mid laner role position again. Kanata seems like a great pickup for him if he would want to. Definitely makes it more perilous for Kelra to just be moving around the map. So there it is. Renmar. Well read. Your prediction stats are starting to climb. The Kanata makes total sense in the burst lineup of Smart Omega. But this doesn't have to be in the hands of Escalera either. Yeah. That's what's amazing about this pick is they can flex it. And here's why I believe they didn't get the marksman despite it being a strong suggestion from our analyst here on desk. It's because the Beatrix out there, the Brodies out there, they'll have to start committing bans on this hero pool because there's still a lot. Like the Melissa's still out there, right? So there's way too much for even the Harrods. See, there's way too much for TNT to think. So I think Omega's comfortable this way. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Leo, because Smart Omega, this team is known for a large hero pool, or a hero ocean, as people could say, because who do you target? There's a lot of playmakers that we see from Smart Omega can do wonders. So there's always a possibility of flex, but how would they want to not be disrupted is the Natalia ban up against TNC, which we saw on Ben Thinks. Yeah, and that's a hero that will definitely be able to break formations, because you're always going to be watching out for the exclamation point above your head. And so now TNC Pro Team, so far this is 3 heroes that are very dive heavy, and you can hear the crowd actually making a lot of noise for Lewis. he acknowledges it. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. He's smiling. He knows it. Yeah. Middle of the season, young man from, I believe he's from Visayas. Ooh, nice. He was scouted out by Smart Omega and brought up into the big leagues. This is a dream come true. Yeah, especially for the ones who are coming from Visayas, whatever, Iloilo or Bacolod or even Tacloban. A lot of places can make good origins, right? Humble beginnings. You would know. You would know for sure. Yeah, me and Sandy would know. Yeah, it's amazing being in the league. And once he smiles, everybody back in the crowd cheers back. Man, this is something. This is something they could expect from Smart Omega. They ban out their Lancelot, which they call Tanks-a-lot. All respect here for both teams. TNC, I'd want to see them pick up something that isn't so dive heavy, because they need to balance out all those. They need a little bit more poke if they can find it. But that's another dive right there. Why get poke when you can just dive? Dive in their faces. Dive across all the other members of Omega. We talked about drafting heroes that can break formations. All of these can break formations. And Hanzo's still out there too. And Hanzo's still out there too. So maybe that's going to be the clincher pick for them in the jungle. Oh, yeah. Kinko could get his hands back on that hero. But I'm seeing Glue and Beatrix back on Smart Omega in this specific lineup. Could be a strong way of countering back dives, right? Yep. Ain't no flex anymore. Call cards are on the table for Smart Omega. And it looks like Lewis is going to have to keep his tabs on Krem here. Oh, I believe he'll be playing the Arlott. Like, it's going into the XP lane. So now, half of me says this has got to be the Hanzo. Yeah. Okay. The Hanzo does make perfect sense here, because with TNC's victories last week, they showed that they like being able to end fights before they even begin. Ooh, okay. Not a Hanzo. That's just confidence. It's opening up the books and pages. That's Ling added to King Kong's list. Ling Kong. Oh, okay. So TNC Pro Team, Ling Kong. Abraham Ling Kong.
It's time, ancient history.
We'll see. I'd like to think that the risk that TNC's taking here it might pay off. Because again, it's just crazy enough. You're coming out from left field, making your opponent. Again, this also breaks formations. I gotta say.
Correct.
So much dive here on the side of TNC that Omega are going to have their work cut off for them where they need to really protect Kelra because they'll only have 2 dashes. So they'll only have that flicker and the dash reload.
Wait. You're pointing something, Leo. What is that? Is it something with Cram?
Gentlemen, is that a tenacious Arlet?
Yes, it is.
Ooh. And they're not afraid to use it.
Okay, so it's not the Lifesteal Festival of Blood Arlet that we've been seeing. It's the Arlet that they're hoping can survive for a long period of time with just tenacity proccing when he's down to 40% health. Interesting.
Basically an
choice.
item. It's basically
Yeah,
an
it's
item.
basically an item, yeah.
For Arlet, yeah.
Free item.
Well, speaking of an item, you get a code. We're just watching this early advantage, or early invade rather, for Miko here. So King Kong, onto the link. How is this up against Ryzen?
Oh man, up against Ryzen, he's really going to be making the most out of the Tempest of Blades to be able to secure the objectives. Hence why it's important for TNC to, again, go back to the thought that I mentioned. They need to look to win the fight before it even begins. Poke down the members of Omega if they can, but they're not poke. It's going to be a gamble in the sense that if TNC don't land their pick-off abilities, their pick-off combinations, Omega are going to turn it around easily, so TNC need to be very patient and be very smart with when they use their abilities.
Migo spots King Kong. Cram answers back. Looking forward to that box. You're talking about TNC's dive, trying to break that formation.
Yep.
Omega's a solid box. I think that's what you were saying, Renmar.
Yeah.
The fact that if they fail this dive, if nobody goes down, like you ain't taking 2 bodies at least, then Omega's going to clap back. They're going to say, yo, this is our yard.
Exactly.
And that's their way to keep their head back in diving, right, in the ocean. So could be the defense is the answer for TNC since they have the Fredrin and also they have the glue. Tells me it answers a lot for TNC.
Oh, it's Omega's yard so far. Nice knock-up, though. Taking Lewis down, but it's Ryzen who secures the turtle. Feathered airstrike coming in from Storm as he takes down Escalera. 1 for 1 with the major objective going over to Omega.
Such a tight timing for the Link to be able to land a Retribution with the Tempest of Blades. You see there the difference in seconds, 5 seconds ahead. Ryzen was able to pop his Retribution before King Kong, securing that turtle. So now TNC, they found the target, but they got a kill. But I'd want to see them commit those abilities more onto the opposing jungler, maybe onto Ryzen, disturb him a little bit more, because if not, that Ling will definitely lose to a Fredrin in the Retu battles.
Oh yeah, a lot of ways of stealing objectives, and also Ryzen uses this one back in the day, and both of these players are present in having rich experience with the Ling, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, around Season 8, Ryzen was one of the first players to like say, hey, yo, Ling is back.
Yeah.
Ling is still a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Season 8. Yeah,
Late
yeah. we
Season
see
8.
that.
Oh,
Yep.
up top. Look at this duel. There's not much happening, but at any moment, I think that's what's scary about an Arlet, right?
On the
The damage
tenacity.
is real. Oh, triangle offense! Sandwiching Miko, but he gets out of dodge. Throwing up the recalls. Spend his flicker. Well done.
Yep. And
Whoa.
now that's TNC showing that, okay, Miko does so much for the rotations of Omega. And we've got a chance to actually know more about Miko and his playstyle. In the game, he's the man calling the shots for Omega. He understands where the opposing, everything that he goes up against, where they position, their favorite spots, their favorite shrubs. So TNC, the more they can disrupt Miko, the easier this will be for them.
Well, speaking of disrupt, bend things onto the vision, I say is more of aiding King Kong most of the time instead of the gold lane, because we all see Escalera. He has that Ocean Oddity and has the ultimate to easily have a burst counter for this Beatrix, possibly preventing or slowing down Kelra. But will this work? Ooh.
Close call. We were just talking about the relationship between Escalera and Kelra,
Yeah.
and he misses our Season 9 Rookie of the Season by an inch.
Yeah.
Escalera there in the bottom lane, not leaving that. So this is a version of a second turtle trade. TNC are looking for Kelra. They're going to be giving up this turtle freely.
Ooh.
They need to convert this eventually into a pick-off somewhere. If not, Omega's third turtle is going to be punishing.
It looks like Omega already got away with it. Like there was no clap back from TNC immediately, putting the barangay about 1,000 ahead
Yeah, that's the question is like pondering in my mind right now. Why are they not contesting this? But Miko could be in trouble.
He's bottom! Oh, that's Storm taking down Escalera. Innocent trading out for Miko, though. And Storm, here comes King Kong. Ryzen unable to taunt the Phoenix Assault. 2 for 1 so far.
Oh, yeah. So TNC got to convert. They got the trade. Escalera there got picked off, but that's how you convert the second turtle gambit. Get kills right afterwards.
Okay, so cross-map trade, objectives. Most likely TNC has eyes on someone here. King Kong with the damage, right? They're not contesting the objectives, but either way, I think Innocent's damage down the laning really paved way on how Escalera was pressuring Kellera.
Yeah. Speaking of, Escalera's pressure onto Kellera is... He's not getting the kills, but man, he's doing a damn great job of just stopping Kellera from pushing closer to the tower, allowing Innocent to farm the waves, because Kellera keeps getting pushed back. Earlier it was under tower. In that sequence just now, he was behind the tower already. So at least Kellera understands that Escalera is trying to take him out. But even with that, Innocent's getting a lot.
Yeah, how's the items here? Kellera is onto the Blade of Despair.
Yeah. Innocent's getting a lot, but it's actually Kellera still in the lead, and that... Okay. Still a weapons master.
Yep.
So already has a BOD on the way to the Hunter Strike, it looks like.
Oh, here we go. Underneath. Storm with a feathered airstrike. Just one more salvo left. Catches Cram.
Wow.
Ryzen attempting to steal the purple. Gets away with it. Where's the punish? Then thinks King Kong looking for it.
Oh, they
There
got
we
it?
go.
Oh,
Third
look
turtle.
how Omega pressure that bot lane and also take the blue.
Yeah,
the purple, rather.
We're talking a lot about pressure here. Omega pressured that well. TNC are also pressuring the map. I think Omega are just starting to understand that, King Kong's getting around the map fast.
Yep,
The pace the Link provides is allowing TNC a lot of room.
Yeah, he's jumping.
And now they're changing the tempo. I think the answer from Omega here is to just, all right, go beeline straight for the turtle. There's no way King Kong's going to make it here. Miko putting up a barricade, pushing them away. Innocent, able to get a few beads in. Here comes Lewis. Oh, Ben thinks at half health. Can Ryzen get the taunt? Force out the flicker. Escalera very low. Gets away. Cram here. Dashes on to Lewis. Lewis still has a split. Nothing happens.
I could be mistaken here, but was that already a conceal coming from Escalera? So are there double roam boots here, or is TNC calling back to something they do in Season 10 wherein Ben thinks will actually be the mid laner
I want to check.
without roam boots, and it's Escalera who's actually the one holding the roam boots, because he used the conceal just now.
Okay, interesting choices for TNC. For the specific route, they're trying to do something. They're experimenting with calculated risk. Oh, look at that top thing.
Lane swap. So far, Storm buying some space. Kellera pushes that top lane tier 1. And this whole time,
Yep.
I think the reason why Kellera was so far back was to also deny Innocent the Avarice money. Oh, here he comes. Wild charge coming in. Miko looking for a kick. Oh, force down early Tempest of Blades. Ryzen, an eighth of his health down.
Oh!
Razor's Wrath taking down King Kong. That Ling got squished.
I mean, let's just talk about the very obvious difference between the two. Fredrin has a larger sword. That
Holds
hurts
it with one
more.
hand.
Holds
Yeah.
it with one hand,
And he's buffed.
and he's buffed up.
Oh!
Another one as well.
Barely caught that.
That's a solo. TNC, they gotta be careful here, because these are the timers and situations that Beatrix's love. There's already a Malefic Roar on the hands of Kellera. So with that, TNC, the more kills they give, if they lose another skirmish, give off another pick-off to Omega, it's going to be TNC playing defensive for the rest of the game until they can find a way to turn around. Heck, we're already seeing glimpses of that.
Yeah, since of you saying that TNC is now playing defensively, is Ben things almost in trouble in giving vision for the team. Because passively, he can't get most of the setups right.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him. He has to be careful with how well he can get vision. I mean, that's the great thing about a Grok, to stay close to the wall, have that power.
Oh,
there's a set!
Wild charge on the 2. Forces Storm out of that bush. Miko as well, spending a flicker. Here comes the feathered airstrike. Look at Escalera. Finding Storm. Pops him. Not a second wasted. Lewis trying to put up a wall here. It's too late to reset the Lord. It's at a fifth of its health, an eighth of its health. It's gone. Ryzen secures it. Down goes Miko. King Kong gets taken out by the Filipino Savage. Bodies have dropped. It's a 2 for 1 so far in favor of TNC. But Ryzen, here he comes. Lewis in a lot of damage. It's a double kill for Kellera. And now it's Cram left in the middle of 3 members. Make it 3. Folks, the Barangay
Goodness.
be cooking.
TNC, They broke formations, but they couldn't break Kelra, who is now 4-0. He was left to free hit without a problem, already close to dealing 25,000 damage this game.
Man, that hurt. I just want to say how Luis managed to hold down 3 members.
Him alone.
Just him. And that decision, TNC was ready to answer in all of the obstacles. How could he even reach the Lord?
Oh my goodness. Kelra just with one basic attack brought Innocent down to 55%. It seems like Kelra hasn't lost any of the momentum from yesterday. He's still on fire with
Playing the
his
same game.
Matrix.
Oh, spots out
Oh.
Ben Things.
Again!
He's not moving.
Throwing
He's not
out
moving.
Bennett bombs. Wild charge out. Ben Things gets hit, but
Oh.
there was just about enough damage, so he couldn't get away. Now TNC is down a man. They're going for it. Barangay are knocking down on their top lane inhibitor. Here comes Kelra. Bennett bombs just barraging onto this main objective up top. It's huge. Oh,
Ow.
still standing though. And here comes 3. King Kong, Cram, and Escalera successfully defends.
Omega, I just gotta say, you're way too fast on your winning condition. 8K gold lead. What's TNC gonna do? Is there any window for them to bounce back?
Counter punish. That's it. They just need to hold on, defend. Look at that. One feathered airstrike brings Innocent down to 50%.
Half HP right away. Eventually they do get it. Down goes the inhibitor. Lewis catches a few beads from Innocent and the gang. They get out. They're going to be playing elsewhere. Still tier 2 standing down bottom for TNC.
Again, this is the struggle with a lineup that is purely dive. In the scenario where you don't get the early game momentum, especially if the opposing team gets it, oh my goodness, it's going to be so hard for you to counter. Find a way to claw back, especially up against a Farsa. Stone continues to ravage in this game, and positioning his usage of the feathered airstrike, though not getting kills all the time, it's just sending the members of TNC back. So this is going to be a big gambit for them to try to get a huge 5-man play here, but if I'm not mistaken, Lewis already has the vision on them.
Yeah, and Ryzen was had by 2 level XP up against King Kong.
Fellas,
There's a call.
This confirms we'll talk about it later, but Lewis, just baits it out. He survives with a split. I was going to say, this confirms our suspicions. It is indeed a double roam setup, and they're both rocking conceal. Here's a kick on to Cram. Served up to Kelra. Miko's feeling it. Both of them, they're still playing the game last night.
Oh.
Miko continuing his great show ways from yesterday up against Echo, now still showing it against TNC.
King Kong catches 2 salvos. Survives all this while. Ryzen working on that Luminous Lord.
This is a danger right now if you are part of the Phoenix army. If you manage to defend still this 2-tier turrets, look at the damage here. Kelra is right off the charts. Almost 4K.
Yep. Good news for them is that Innocent is relatively close to Kelra despite the massive lead that Omega has, but the next one in terms of damage dealt is Cram. And look, Stone versus Escalera in terms of damage, a 12,000 lead for Stone. The Farsa over the Kadita. And again, you can't fault Escalera in this scenario. It'll be difficult to find dives, to find that pick-off combo as that Kadita.
Yeah, finding dive, right? So it's Escalera and Ben Thing's job right now that could be so crucial to spot one against Smart Omega. With a goalie of 11K, with the damage the Barangay has right now, they need to have good defense to hold the line.
And they're going to try to defend the best that they can. It's the bottom and the mid inhibitor in jeopardy. The Lord marches in. It's Innocent and Ben Things and Cram taking care of this huge water monster. They're able to drown it, stop the assault. But here comes Miko, flickers in, force out a Tempest of Blades, and the bomb's away! Bennett! Rage almost takes down King Kong. And now Cram out a 4th of his health as well. Gets away with it. No one has fallen yet. No bodies fallen, but no turrets standing either for TNC. They got to defend their base at almost half health. Lewis goes for the split, finding one. He's going to get a bite on the Cram. Ooh. Cram dashes in. Vengeance. There's the grab, and he goes down. Kelra gets a monster kill. It's just 4 members left for TNC.
They squeeze the ultimate!
Flicker wild charge, and a blazing duet from Innocent. The answer back with a fair strike. Miko trying to stop him. Finally takes down Ben Things. Escalera and Innocent. Can they do it? Where's King Kong?
Oh!
Oh, down goes Innocent. Here comes King Kong. They're dashing on through. And there's the pull. Escalera goes down. It's just King Kong. He's the only one left. The Barangay are going to take game 1.
Look, know they're feeling it. They know they're in the zone in focusing on turtle fight. The second one that Leo pointed out, Lewis was just make it difficult for TNC to find the turnaround.
They focus too much on dive. Now they need to rise.
Yeah.
That's one.
Well, they're first here's a change. Yeah, they switched it up because here in this series they are, I believe, the away team. So yeah, this is their choice. They wanted to go blue. Interestingly, as per week 3 stats, talking about our development league, red side wins more. Is the meta shifting? Are we seeing teams prefer blue side now?
Yeah, weirdly enough, in MDL, yeah, red side wins more, but then lately I just checked. After yesterday, it was pretty much all blue side that won yesterday.
Yeah.
So blue side seems to be the priority.
Are we skewing now? Is that first pick trade outweighing the 2 picks and that closer as a 5th?
Yeah. Well, could be because in the red side you could answer one last counter because you can at the first place you can flex in your first pick and then you can finally secure a counter on the last pick. So yes,
But in MPL, how about that, Remon?
yeah, it's the answer of the second and third pick on the blue side.
Yeah.
Because of the tendencies are like we have a very small hero pool of heroes that are picked in the first and second pick on the red side. That's why earlier the Arlott was such a big surprise.
Yeah.
Teams prioritizing Kanata a little bit more, even like Fog a little bit more. So interesting here. TNC, their second and third picks here need to be really good.
What are you suggesting, though?
So don't see the draft.
Yeah.
Later on, maybe
Will it
after
be,
Omega.
will it be a flex jungler or will it be an
This is-
XP
okay,
lane?
tendency is XP laners and mid laners get picked in the first phase.
Right.
That's the go-to pickups there.
But I think that might have to change, given how much of a focus
Oh.
left and right are given over to Kelra. Look at this.
Wait.
First phase, these 3 bans, 2 of them are for Beatrix and Harith. Kelra heroes.
What is this for TNC? What are the?
Arlott first pick.
Why? We see that in the other regions.
Yeah.
Malaysia, Cambodia also.
Which started yesterday, yeah. Right.
Okay, so this is what we're talking about here. These are 2 of the mid picks usually picked up. Okay, there. Okay, fast picks here. This Diggy pickup is big for TNC Pro Team. This is the Diggy of Ben Finks that secured 2 Lord Steals last week against Arnic in game 1.
That's right. Killer Diggy.
Yeah, the killer Diggy. And they have the Melissa as well. So the pick here for Lewis, if it's not going to be the Glue, might actually be the Yuzhong. And I'd want to see them pick up their XP laner right away.
Yeah, at this point, if you see TNC invest too much into banning out Kelra heroes, just tell Dwayne to hunker down. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
They put it this much, just wait till the last phase, dude.
They're red side anyway.
Predictable.
They pick their XP laner now. They pick their gold laner 4th pick.
Okay, let's see how Smart Omega weighs this. Did they see the Diggy coming? Did they just let out loose Ben Things to go back in his form? But Moskov, okay, for Smart Omega. All right, so the whole cleanse of the time journey is not going to matter. I mean, it will once you get hit with the stun and the pushback, the knockback, but the damage, the pure damage, that's Smart Omega's put on the table here, closing up their first phase.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this Moskov pick. It's unanimous that a lot of the top marksmen in the game will struggle up against a Melissa. In terms of the discussion of which of the marksmen has the highest possibility of being able to stand toe-to-toe with the Melissa in the lane, it's actually the Moskov, because of that dash that he has as well. And the amount of reach he has, of course, with this basic attack being surprisingly pokey and long range.
Potent.
Potent.
Yeah.
So,
It's got a hokey.
this is actually a great pick up for Omega. Maybe that's why they picked up right away. Hokey pokey. Yeah. Great.
Okay. Put your left foot in, left foot out.
I don't know the song. They never taught me that in
What?
kindergarten.
Really? Or you skip kindergarten?
No. I just never learned the song.
No. All right, so think about what TNC might block out here. Still no clear hero for Miko. Also still no clear hero for Lewis.
Oh, there's a Frankie.
Yeah, they banned it out. So Kufi or That's a- Kufra yep. still open, so there's no tank for Smart Omega to get. So who do you ban now for the last option? Well, that's Eve. Preventing the mage burst against TNC because clearly they don't have that yet. So clearly Bending's going to use this as roam.
You know what hurts here for TNC? I know they have the Diggy, but either the Cho or the Kufra will be like perfect for the lineup of Omega right now. Either of those are going to be great. And the Lolita will actually still be open.
Right, yeah.
So maybe Omega will dump more crowd control abilities so that they can force out the Time's Journey early. And hence why this Farsa pickup is. Maybe they also
Crowd
saw
control.
the Diggy coming.
All right, so there's 2 ways to deal with the Diggy, right? Well, technically 3. 1 is you wait out the time's journey. 2 is you dodge the time's journey and you just don't play with much CC at all, make it useless. And the other is to overload it.
Force it.
Yeah, they can still do all 3. All 3 possibilities for Smart Omega are still on the table. I wonder how they'll respond. Again, the Kufi's still out there.
Yeah, even also the Atlas.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
but that's I'm not so sure. Yeah, but
Yeah, against the Time's Journey.
no.
Yeah.
But Olapo with the XP lane is very now of Smart Omega, so the red side has now the option to secure 1 more. If TNC secures something that it can be countered. What's inside now for the Phoenix Army?
Let me see. They might go for a much tankier jungler. An assassin jungler here might actually hurt them. So I want to think Barretts, but they haven't really showed that. Okay, is that a Julian?
And a Hilda.
What?
Excuse me.
Interesting. Who's going where?
Okay, is this too much poking? Could they support Diggy and then a roam Hilda?
Yeah.
So mid lane. Okay,
So
mid
it is a
lane Diggy.
jungle Julian.
Double roam again. Okay. I am just trying to figure out what TNC is up to right now. With the first pick, Arlott, you and me both. Yeah.
Yeah. What Leo said actually makes the most sense. anyone. I don't see anyone else going to the jungle other than that Julian. And eventually there is the Cho there for Omega. Let's wait for the shifts. Is that Escalera holding Hilda? Yeah, they're not swapping. They're not swapping it. It's a mid lane.
Hilda.
No, again.
Work.
That's
There-
true.
There has obviously there's a lot of thought put into this, but that we never see. And marks. You know what? Right now, I'm just excited to see how they actually play this.
Count me in. It's game number 2 in TNC versus Smart Omega. Will this turn out for a sweep for the Barangay, or will this be a rising point for the Phoenix Army? Let's see how this goes. So it's Escalera onto the mid lane. That confirms it, yeah. So up against a Farsa.
That's a Diggy with Avarice.
Yes. Diggy with an avarice and a favor boots.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try to leverage the shields that he gets.
Yep.
Yeah, from the Times journey.
And then Escalera without roam, not yet.
Interesting ideas. I mean, TNC has made a name for themselves this season as being
Yeah.
a team that, I mean, they're the ones who showed up with the Zilong and actually almost made it work, even though it struggled.
And the ad is on point, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's also not forget in Season 9, they were one of the first teams to actually use Demon Slayer, which
Correct.
is now a mainstay.
Yeah, which eventually evolved into the tanks a lot that Omega loves playing.
Yeah, so we're just seeing how the legacy continues on how they started this Demon Slayer. So Smart Omega, on the other hand, they have bigger ways of controlling the map. With the Fredrin and the Farsa and the Cho, they could easily slow down the TNC on their journey onto the mid game, right?
TNC checks out if this is going to be a bend things Diggy with magic damage, like second item Divine Glaive,
Right away.
Omega needs to watch out for that actually, because this is going to hurt. Their only source of magic damage is the Farsa, but that is offset by the fact that their physical damage really hurts. Of course, the Appraiser's Wrath coming in from the Fredrin, and of course we know how much a Moskov can dish out.
Uh-oh.
Surprisingly, TNC has the tools to snowball with this if Omega aren't careful. It's a unique lineup, but they can surprise Omega.
Yep.
Let's see how it translates. Okay, so no contest at all for TNC.
Okay, Turtle here
King Kong's right there.
in retribution range. I could have sworn they were going to make the most of that 3 or 4 man rotation up top, but they let it go.
Did they not get the vision on there onto Ryzen?
There's
Oh!
my gosh.
This is not good.
Innocent! Taken down quickly, max range. Feathered air strike.
A turtle with a kill down bottom in the gold lane. That's Kelra.
Yeah, man, I feel like at that moment, Innocent was just thinking to himself, if only Feathered Airstrike could be blocked by my dome. But it ended up
tried.
becoming more like a target
Yeah, but he can't.
for Omega. That was a great layering of abilities coming in from Stone and Keller, clearly working together to secure that kill onto Innocent, which, again, very perplexing as to why TNC would dive Lewis, try to get a kill onto him top, but not contest the turtle. TNC needs to contest the second turtle here. If they give up the Gambit and decide to dive another lane instead of contesting the turtle, Omega might run away with it.
Oh,
Luis.
that's 2 men. Cram and King Kong spots out. The Bravest Fighter already spent. Goes ahead, flickers underneath. Storm looking for the clapback. Ryzen as well in position. It's just Cram and King Kong here. 3 members of TNC are down bottom. They let go.
Good read there by
It's-
King Kong to not walk into that shrub, by the
Yeah,
way.
they're letting go so much. And as I look for the story on TNC would want to play this game, okay, it just boggles my mind what they're up to.
All right, fellas. An unorthodox lineup has unorthodox rotations. So
Yeah.
they might be seeing things and doing things that we don't understand quite yet. Miko walks into a bush, forces out Ben Things to move out of it. Better dare strike by Storm. Throws out a few salvos, pushing Ben Things out of range. 4 members of Omega back off.
Okay. So, the good thing about the lineup of TNC is if Omega run away with the lead here, they actually have a respectable lineup in terms of being able to defend much better compared to their Game 1 lineup. So they can hold on. And we've seen games before where Diggy, just the existence of a Diggy alone was enough to turn games around. We saw that
Yeah.
in Bren versus NXPE earlier this season.
Now Ryzen is up against Ben Things and Nilas Carrera. Who's gonna make this take on the turtle?
Turtle at half health. Miko catches Ben Things. No one home. Cram goes down. Oh, but Miko gets taken down first. Cram survives with the help of the tenacity, but it's Kelro takes down Innocent. Unbelievable trades here.
1-1.
Turtle still standing. Who's gonna take it? King Kong with an immaculate pull. Then Bombs pushing away Ryzen. He says not worth it. We're backing off. Turtle looks like it's gonna go over to TNC.
good contest. We talked about it earlier. TNC needed to contest it, and they did that well. It's an interesting scenario seeing how this Hilda on the hands of Escalera is playing. It's passive, but of course he's being aggressive and showing himself. But for some reason, Escalera showing himself in the backline of Omega, it's enough for Omega to think, maybe should we... you see the hesitation there.
Yeah.
And that really threw off Omega's approach in that team fight for the turtle.
Oh, maybe that's the only way to get them off guard, because Escalera, on the other hand, gives vision, answers to the problems of game number 1.
Those are great veteran instincts by Miko, by the way, to not get close to that shrub. If he did, he would have been taken out of this game. King Kong would have been able to burst him down alongside Escalera. But
Whoa.
now that he's still alive, that opened up a tower break for Omega up top. And TNC can't counter it down bottom because Lewis got to clear the minion wave with Bravest Fighter.
Veterans, Mamba also passing knowledge on to Mika. How's the items now for Smart Omega?
Okay, that's a big lead for this Moskov 800 compared to this Melissa. But both of them mirrored priorities, both building the leg plates, both have the corrosion scythe. Innocent needs to be a little bit more careful here, so there's a good call by TNC to counter it and get a tower break down bottom if they can. Let's see if they can actually get it, but no, Lewis holding on for dear life.
Here comes the cavalry. Feather strike by Storm Ryzen, waiting in the wings. Who's he going to take? And another successful defense again by Lewis with a BF.
They're just holding it through. There's not even trades on cross map that TNC wants to commit. It's playing safe.
Oh!
Good, but look at that. Something's trouble.
Suddenly, he cut to action down bottom though. Lewis catches Innocent in the back line. Go away! Not working out. He was inside the dome.
Whoa.
But Cram punishes the deep rookie. And Kelra finishes the job. Innocent falls. Now here comes Ryzen trying to take Cram down. Oh, still a few more salvos. Down goes Cram. Ryzen is the one to get the final blow.
Kelra's done it again. Look at the global presence, the senses. The Filipino Savage taking that kill.
That wasn't ult going to get pushed back until the animation of the 3 strikes is done. But of course, Kelra, great use of the ultimate.
Last
takedown.
hurdle here. King Kong still takes it despite the help from Stone with the Feather Strike. Both teams let go. Traded out though. Barangay gets a turret up top.
Yeah, TNC. Good thing they were able to get that second turtle. They're going to have a lot of lane management to do. No towers broken just yet. Second tower up top broken. And the Kelra already has a golden staff onto him on the way to his third. Big lead for the gold laner of Omega.
Now, with the damage that they have, clearly they can protect Kelra at most of the times. He has a knockback, and this is the problem. If you have a faster way of scaling up a Moskov, plus partner with Soam's Feathered Airstrike, how can you even penetrate the defense zone of Smart Omega?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. That's why Ben Thinks actually had to first build the Athena shield. He knows that him getting poked out by the Farsa is one of the things Omega would want to do to trigger the Time's Journey prematurely. Earlier, we saw favor on Ben Thinks, right? Now it's actually encouraged.
So
he changed it midway.
He did. It was green to start, now it's red.
Oh, look at Kelra.
It's just 9 minutes, and look at the push down bottom.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's in trouble.
It's just a savage here.
Oh, my goodness.
He overextended. He overstayed his welcome. The punish from TNC. Stone could not stop the assault. That's a shutdown on this Moskov.
Yeah, that's a miscalculation by not just Kelra. It seems like for the majority of Omega. What?
A flicker in, reverse time on the Storm, very, very low, down goes the Farsa, Innocent gets a kill.
Okay, it was a
Slowly
questionable
progress.
start to it, but it worked. It worked
Okay.
out. Maybe for a second-
Unorthodox picks in rotation. Well, this answer is...
It's a domino effect. I mean, Kelra fell, it's like Farsa. Storm was like, I don't know, it might have thrown him off.
Yeah, it's like, oh, where'd he flicker?
What?
What? And then suddenly he gets taken out.
Yeah.
Next level mind games right now by Ben Things.
Well, now they have a good window to take back this objective because that was the problem of the space that Omega's creating. They have the Lapu Lapu. We haven't seen Luis, but now look at this action.
Reverse time on Miko, puts him at a third of his health. Pops the regeneration. Definitely not a fight he wants to miss. But I think the call from Ryzen was, I'll make this last a little longer. Go ahead, Miko. Get some regen. And look at where Kelra's positioned. I'm not sure if this is a fight that they want to take.
This is dangerous. If you're looking at the scale of the macro game of... Oh my goodness!
Oh, Lord, again! They pick off Kelra, but it looks like they're committing. Ryzen secures this Lord. First one of the game. And just like that, the Barangay just makes a beeline for their defense, but they fail.
Sacrificing Kelra for that Lord, was that worth it, Renmar?
Oh, well, they do have the Lord with them. Let's see if they can actually push it. If they can get some towers here, especially that tower in the mid lane, it would have been worth it.
Okay, so... Okay, this progress is still progress no matter how small, but now they need to not do those miscalculations again if
Yeah.
you're a smart Omega, because the damage of Kelra right now could be so deadly that TNC is forced to build on defense items since they have both boots and roamers, so that they could take advantage of.
That's right. Good news and bad news. Bad news is Kelra's still going to hurt late game, right? Good news is at least they're still finding him. So they can continue this, but I don't know how much more they can because the map is shrinking. Here's a push on bottom. Storm with a Feathered Air Strike. Few hits there. Cram comes in with a vengeance, gets a knock-up, gets a kick, and there's a time's journey. He's going to survive thanks to Ben Things, but the turret's still going to fall. The Barangay are happy with that demolition mission, and now Escalera, look at the back line, using that Cyclone Eye, dashing on
Run.
through with the sprint.
He pulled just everybody to go around the rock. Buying time for TNC to just hold on. How's the items now?
All right. Still no damage item for Ben Things, although he is building that Enchanted Talisman. Oh, actually able to complete it already. I'd want to see a Divine Glaive on there because, look, Ben Things actually hasn't been taken out yet, which means the stacks are there for the time bombs, and once he has that Divine Glaive up, Omega's going to feel it.
Fellas, look at this Malefic Roar on Escalera and a full tank build Arlot on Cram.
Talking about physical penetration onto this Hilda for the tanky heroes of Omega. One way to prepare the defense, just be in the bush if you're a Hilda and just keep on getting vision for your team.
Yeah, he's getting vision, but that Malefic Roar is also a sign of him as like, oh, I'm like the assassin of my team. But I'm not a well, Hilda can run fast. That's a beefy assassin.
Yeah.
And it's Cram who's the tank. If he can continue to get those setups with those flickers and those final slashes, it's going to be great for TNC.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, but did somebody spot Ryzen and Stone by just being on the
Do they
bush?
know? And knowing TNC and seeing how they play in the past 12 minutes, usually this is a safe spot for the Farsa, right? That Pixel Brush. But when you're playing against TNC the way that they have in this game, I don't think so. Like, again, that's what's so cool about an unorthodox lineup. It has an unorthodox approach. So you think you got it solved, but not when you're playing against TNC, not like this.
Yeah, because I feel like also Stone now realizes like the danger he's faced off up against that Hilda. So even Omega are a lot more cautious in terms of how they're taking fights. And it seems like they're always cautious now about the presence of the Hilda, and they're just watching out for Escalera.
Yeah.
If TNC can play their cards right, they'll find Omega in the perfect sandwich. But look at that. So many members of TNC here by this Lord. There are 3 members of Omega up top.
Ryzen just pulling them and baiting them in this objective.
Yep, and I believe the prior call was for Kelra to break that inhibitor up top, but it looks like a change of plans. Miko caught out here. A lot of damage spent in already. Ben Things dropping them bombs. Again, at max stacks. Reverse time on Miko. Displacing him. Who's going to take this turtle? Rather a Lord. It's Ryzen. And down goes Kelra. King Kong finds him again. Ryzen with the Appraiser's Wrath. Escalera gets kicked up in range of the turret. Lewis, BF on out. King Kong caught by a salvo. Just like that, TNC with the punish, but Omega walks away with that Luminous Lord. Oh, look at that wave.
And a push. Push
at
down
that.
bottom. There's minions pushing in. Although the Keller's just a casualty, we'll see be able to hold this through.
Oh man, Omega still in control here, definitely. Innocent just built up the Athena shield, and yeah, they're going to have their work cut off for them in this defense. I don't know if it's unfortunate or just incredibly bad timing that King Kong does not have his ultimates ready up for those objective fights. He can't commit those enhanced sword entries to actually even try to secure those lords. Like, he was standing there close enough, but more often you'll see that Fredrin win that retry battle.
Yeah. The utility and the mastery of
ouch,
Ryzen.
ouch.
Miko.
Ryzen
something
took a
here.
dozen auto alarm bombs there.
Yeah, already scratched him though.
Yeah, because again, it's a hybrid Diggy. It's not like a full damage Diggy,
Yo.
as was previously shown against Onyx PH. Now, waves up top, waves in mid. A Luminous Lord down bottom, taken care of by King Kong almost alone. Now Stone pops the Feather Dare Strike, successful push in mid. Now it's top lane. Next up on the docket, King Kong throwing out them chains. Here comes Innocent with his own version of Muddles. Successful defense. The last turret still stands.
Well, they want to hold the line, but the lead right now of Smart Omega, is this deadlier when we get to 18 minutes, or does TNC still have a window to go back?
Well, again, they do have a Julian and a Melissa working for them. Omega would want to end this sooner rather than later. But even if it gets to the late game with how much control they have, as long as they avoid getting like swept or having no one to defend, they should still be fine for a long time. This game can go on for 20 minutes long and Omega will still be in control. Again, barring them getting wiped out.
Okay, not getting wiped out. Omega has a checklist to follow, but TNC here, I'm just seeing damage coming in from Innocent and Ben Things. Is this enough? Like how they wanted to hold and clear the lanes, but just looking at the items, will this be enough to pierce through Omega?
Well, with the Melissa on board there, the Melissa will be more than enough to actually stop. It's not a Divine Glaive, it's actually a Genius Wand. Sorry, Glowing Wand picked up there by Ben Things.
And he's building up towards what I assume would be a
Immortality?
Anti-Kiras.
Or Anti-Cuirass. Oh yeah, Anti-Cuirass.
And then the glaive, I assume, would be following up.
Yep.
Yeah. But oh, he's changing Roam Boots around.
Oh,
How's that conceal?
There's a call.
oh,
Oh my gosh.
Lewis.
The flicker.
Okay, all right. So did he switch up into conceal again?
Yes.
All right, that's what that was. Oh, look.
Uh-oh, Miko with his own.
Oh, there's a lot of flickers used
yeah.
King Kong
by
with
three.
with an enhanced sword out.
Yeah.
Now,
Gonna
this
be hard for
is
him.
a 16-minute Lord pulled in by Ryzen. A lot of ults
Oh, that thing he hurt.
are unspent. A lot of battle spells as well. But TNC has to take care of their base. A lot of waves are crashing in. Ryzen not letting go.
They need to hold on if they want to win this game. If TNC wants to force a game number 3, they would need this Lord for a push for the defense of Omega. Still opening at Ryzen. Being spotted down by 4.
Watch out. There's a Feathered Air Strike. Drawing a perimeter around this Lord. Now it's Miko buying time. Way the Dragon on the Cram. Innocent takes down the Roamer from Omega. And Ryzen secures the Lord. It's a body for an objective.
That's a push for the Barangay. And also, minions down bottom, clear.
That is heartbreaking for TNC. Ryzen didn't even expend his retribution.
No.
King Kong went in there, committed the retribution. Ryzen didn't even need to use his and still walked away with securing the Lord. Heartbreaking for TNC, but if you're Omega, they handled that with a lot of composure to not commit so much, to not to give up and use abilities way too early.
Look at Escalera. Spots Stone, but Stone pushes him back. And just like that, failed attempt. I mean, you kind of saw the intent.
Yeah.
To push in the base. So TNC has the way of clearing the waves and also the Lord. The gold lead of, well, 1.6 still won't matter, right? At this point. So they're building up something for Innocent to work on. So King Kong has more an advantage for knockups compared to backlines. But will that be the answer? But I don't think. I want to take it back.
Oh no! They find Ben Things force on the time's journey. And Innocent, go ahead, dash it on forward. Go away! TNC says they're pushing on through. Ben Things shut down here by Storm. The first death on this Diggy. And Innocent still throwing out those hammers. Miko goes down. King Kong has the kill. Cram dashing on through. Vengeance. Down goes Cram. Pops his immortality. Kelra gets taken out by Innocent. Storm with a third air strike, but Kelra is not here to save him. Escalera pops him, but it's a trade.
Innocent.
Between these two mid laners. Now King Kong takes down Lewis. It's just Ryzen. Oh, what's happening? Oh, Cram, 1v1. There's a final slash. There's one more.
Vengeance.
They're walking.
Cram chasing him. The dash out by Ryzen. He's out of vengeance range.
Is he? Can he
is.
get close enough? He is.
Diggy's just doing his thing.
Yeah, Benting's going to try to deny the recall. 5 seconds. 3 now on this Diggy. Oh, can Omega defend?
Is
It's
this
5
still-
seconds.
Looks like
Oh,
that.
is this a silver lining for the Phoenix Army right now?
I'm
more?
stumped. Are they going to try to end it? Can they?
There is a time
Oh!
journey. Oh!
Massive!
Forced it out. Ryzen still alive. Nico, they're waiting for Kelra. It's just a second more.
No minions!
What?
No minions!
It's not over.
It's not over! We thought it was, but the sacrifice that Miko and Ryzen did to clear the minion waves meant that TNC couldn't end it there. This game has taken a massive turn. A U-turn for the jeepney of the Biyaheng Tagumpay.
They had to take it. They had to take it. There's no other way that they want to bounce back. Is that a window for TNC to just keep on doing? As you said, we're on 20 minutes, and Omega is still holding through.
What's Kelra doing?
Oh, he's going to try to go for that split push end, maybe.
Is he?
No, TNC now finally get their first Lord of the game. Unless he's going to get Spear of
Trying to steal
Destiny
it?
here.
Will he steal it?
No.
Oh!
About a second and a half too late.
That was
Yeah.
close. That was close.
A little bit of a preview there of what could have been in an alternate universe. But in this universe, it's TNC in the lead. We were talking about it. Barring any wipeouts or big miscalculations, Omega will be in control. They lost 4 in the siege. TNC Pro Team with their Diggy, the tendency for lineups with Diggy to be able to hold on, to be able to find a way to turn things around is what's happening right now for TNC. In a game where they were losing for majority of it, now it's Omega with their backs against the wall.
Look at Innocent. Look at the shredding power of this marksman. Just a deadly sound that you hear right into your headphones.
Yeah, they want to end this quickly because Innocent and Escalera both got potions for them. Extra damage, extra sustainability. TNC have their eyes set and forcing game number 3.
Oh, here we go. Nico caught out, pulls the Lord. I don't know you could do that.
What?
All right. I mean, it works. Feather Airstrike spent already by Stone. Protects bottom lane inhibitor. BF on out. Lewis spends it to save himself. Auto alarm bombs coming in. No minion waves. Omega makes quick work of this evolved Lord. Now here's a wave.
Oh, the waves.
Coming
There's a
in.
push.
So many.
Ooh, boy.
Can they?
They're looking for an opening. TNT is looking for an opening.
Try
They
to
have
end it.
minions!
Oh!
Cram gets a CC, reverse time on the Stone, pops the immortality, he's still alive.
Oh!
Down he goes, Innocent throwing out those hammers, those nails, and there's 2 members of the barangay down. Kelra, Lewis, and
Whoa!
one's left. Immortality pop on the Kelra, and there's a kick. It's too late.
Oh, Kelra!
Cram
Oh,
goes
no!
down. Innocent
Oh,
goes
my
down.
God!
It's just Ben Things. Lewis and Kelra are still alive, and it's just Ben Things.
Maniac!
Kelra gets the Maniac. Oh, short of the Savage, but we all know who he is. They just have to clean up the base, and just like that, the Barangay are still breathing.
There are a lot of things that we can't explain in life. Ghosts, miracles. But TNC just saw a miracle, a ghost, something unexplainable. They saw Kelra. They saw a maniac, and they saw a potential end to their hopes of forcing in game number 3 as Kelra and Lewis are marching down mid. That's a wipeout.
Barangay is knocking through. They're doing it. Defying the limits and showing that the odds are in their favor. Barangay Omega.
But of course, Biyaheng Tagumpay were made so much chances for TNC to turn things around. Escalera was such a new setting to a lineup that has Omega will be in the lead. It'll be hard for Omega to end the game. So sometimes you're just gonna need that one player, that one